Welcome Pisces to Angeltopia TV, the home of Soothing Angel Tarot. I'm really glad to have you with me today because we're going to be doing something a little bit different in that we're going to be looking ahead at the next 3 months. So we're going to be looking at July, August and September of 2023. I'm really excited to bring you your angel messages. Just some reminders before we begin. Do remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more from this channel and want to be reminded of new videos when they drop. Also remember to like the video if the reading resonates with you, and also share the video with any other Pisces out there who you feel might benefit from these messages. Just a reminder that these readings are no substitute for professional healthcare or financial advice. They are intended for your gentle guidance and soothing comfort only. So with all of that said, the cards have been pre-shuffled. We're going to dive right in and see what's in store for you, Pisces. So let's have a look. Strength, love it. Renewal, beautiful. High Priestess, my goodness. And Knight of Air. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, I assure you, I shuffled these really, really well and thought 3 major arcana cards to come out is really, really unusual. Goodness me. Well, I mean, Pisces, this is a great story already that I can see unfolding. So this card represents what brought you to this reading today. So in the days and weeks leading up to this reading, you have been feeling stronger, and you feel like you've been getting through situations where afterwards you're a bit like, gosh, I didn't realize I was strong enough to deal with that. I thought that was going to be really difficult and I made it. I survived. Look, I've come through it. And it's surprising even you sometimes, Pisces. It says here, great inner strength, release harsh judgments and forgiveness and compassion. I think forgiveness and compassion, I think, is a key thing for you, Pisces, because you might have a tendency to hold on to grudges for far longer than you need to. And it says release harsh judgments. Try not to judge others too harshly because we're all human beings. And, surely in your life you've made a mistake or two and other people are exactly the same. So we're all human. No one really deserves to be judged because we've all done things we've regretted or made mistakes or said things we didn't mean. But that doesn't mean that we ought to be judging people for those things. Look at the reasons behind them. Why did that person act that way or say what they did or do that thing that drove you crazy? Because everyone has their own reasons. You never know what's going on behind closed doors, and the person might have had a real reason to be triggered or to behave a certain way, and they're probably regretting it and wishing they could take it back right now. So rather than being judged for acting a certain way, what they need is your understanding, Pisces. So, and what I love about this is that that's what you've been learning, because you are a very strong person. Your strength of spirit is something that people are drawn to. But it happens to all of us. When you've been strong too long, you do start to break down a little bit. And I feel the people that you may be judging right now are people that reached that point where they had been strong for too long and they just started to fall apart a little bit. And rather than writing them off for that, just examine some of the reasons behind it and see if you can empathize a little bit with them, Pisces. But overall here, this beautiful card here, you've got Archangel Ariel, and she's a real sort of archangel of courage, abundance. She usually is pictured in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot. She's often depicted with a lion, but in this artwork she has a beautiful tiger. 2 doves here, suggestive of peace and resolution. You've also got a rainbow here, which is indicative of sort of promise and magic. And here you've got her walking from the darkness into the light. So I think you're seeing the light in terms of your tendency to judge. And then you're learning forgiveness and compassion, and going forward you feel like you can understand people a little bit more, and in doing so you improve your own well-being too. And that's what's brought you here. You want to understand more about how to be that, how to embody that a little bit more. So let's have a look at July. Now, July is really interesting because you're coming into a new chapter of your life. There is a new you emerging. You've been doing some of the work internally to sort of work on who you are and understand why you react to things. And in doing so, you're understanding other people's reasoning too. And there's a renewal of energy here. Archangel Jeremiah is the archangel that sort of shows you a record of your life. It keeps a record of your life and shows you that record when you pass over. So Archangel Jeremiah remembers, and he'll come to your side when you need to remember too. So it says review and evaluate, and that's what Jeremiah is all about. It's a book often referred to as the Akashic record, and that is the record of everybody's life. Everything that ever happened, Archangel Jeremiah records all that information. And when it comes to times when you're evaluating your life, he'll remind you of how far you've come, so that you can be strong enough to know where you're going next. A favorable assessment of the facts. So you're going to look back over your history and how far you've come and what you've achieved so far, and you are going to be able to say, yeah, I've done okay, and I'm really proud of myself, and I really like where I'm taking this. It does say time to move in a different direction, and I think that might be right, Pisces. I think you've exhausted who you were, and it's time to become who you now are or want to be. And as you look back over your progress in becoming that, Archangel Jeremiah is very happy to show you that you've made significant progress in reaching your goals. You can see that Jeremiah was almost saying goodbye to this family who he has just shown how far they've come, and releasing all of that so they can move into their future. They're on the shore, standing in the light and the lush and the green, and the past is disappearing into the mist here. This is indicative of what's happening for you, Pisces. The past is giving way now, and you're interested only in what is in front of you. Dwelling on the past only keeps you stuck, and when you entertain a fascinating and unknown new future, yes, the unknown is daunting, but it's in the unknown that the magic is made, and you are stepping into that unknown realm, which can be quite frightening, but I don't think you're afraid of it anymore. You're a strong person, as we've established. Now, Archangel Haniel has come for you in August. Now, this is the High Priestess card. This is really about stepping into your power and taking interest. I talked about a book here, and she's holding a book in her hand here. So it's remembering how far you've come, bearing that in mind. But look at this. It's saying listen to your intuition. Have patience and consider carefully what you want before acting. I think before you did and said without thinking, and maybe thought about it or regretted it even later. I think in this era of renewal in July is going to be a real turning point for you, where you look back at yourself and how far you've come, what you've achieved. And when you look over everything factually, you're like, okay, I'm making progress, and I can see that progress unfolding, and it is time to move in a new direction. So your angels here want to remind you that your intuition is now stronger because you've done that work. And you need to have patience, because you need to trust in the journey. It's not easy to change your personality. It's not something you can do overnight, but in so doing, you create a new personal reality. Consider carefully what you want before acting. I think this is just a reminder not to veer back into old behaviors. Do everything with a sense of mindfulness and the compassion that you learned here. If you're compassionate and you can empathize and see things from other people's perspectives, the help that you need will be so much easier to get for you, Pisces. If people feel they're understood, they will go above and beyond to help you, and vice versa. It's all stuff that we need to pay forward in order to keep that lovely energy flowing. We're all connected in some way. So as I said yesterday, and I think Capricorn's reading, good news travels fast, but kindness travels faster. We're all connected to one another, and one act of kindness can snowball in such a beautiful way that you just open your arms and be ready to receive the possibilities of that, and how far that can take you, how much that can lift your spirit. and so that you can spread your wings and fly and finally be the person you've always wanted to be. Because I feel like this is personal transformation for you, Pisces. Is a lot in your life that's changing, but I feel like the one project you're working on the most is Project You. And I think it was time. I think you felt ready, and I think it's going to work out for your greatest good. Now here we have the Knight of Air. Now air cards are about our thoughts and ideas, the things that keep our brain awake at night. But here it says events occur with great speed. Take time to carefully review your options and creative solutions. Now this is really interesting because it said here consider carefully what you want before acting in August, and then here in September it says take time to carefully review your options. So I feel like there's definitely a request from your angels to take a pause, really think through what you want to do next. What are your next steps going to be and why? How does that make you feel? What are you hoping to achieve from that? And I think in doing that legwork, you'll figure it out a lot quicker, but also reach a conclusion that's for everybody's greatest good. The Knight of Air is a beautiful sort of a positive card of bravery and courage and stepping forward. You can see that he's mounted on his unicorn here, he's soared aloft, and he's riding into the light coming from a darker place, a lot like these other cards here. But there's a lot of magic surrounding you at the moment, Pisces. In September time, which this card is representative of, I do feel like you're going to start feeling a bit of forward motion. And it says events that occur with great speed. So I think once you figure this out, once you figure out you've worked on Project You, you've found your strength from somewhere, you've renewed your energy and started on a new page, you've really stepped into that power and opened yourself up to the possibilities of it. And here we are with momentum gaining. You've got key wording at the top here, and this is how other people perceive you. And it says intelligent, decisive, idealistic, tireless. People see you as somebody that never gives up, and they're so inspired by that sometimes you inspire people to action, and that annoys you because you inspired someone else when you didn't get something off the ground for yourself. It was the inspiration you were looking for from elsewhere, but you've accidentally given it to somebody else. People look up to you, Pisces. And I don't think you always realise that, but sometimes when they do and they act because of the inspiration you provided, you end up feeling a little bit jealous that they went forward with that idea when you stalled a little bit, perhaps. So be aware, that's all part of the stuff that you're working on right now. So I know you're becoming more aware of your reactions to things, and you want to start adjusting your behaviours to see if it has any sway on your outcome. And I can see here that it definitely is, because you're doing that work, you're having patience, you're considering your actions before you take them, you're thinking before you speak as well. And by doing that, it enables you to charge forward with your dreams, and you have support around you, and your creative ideas start flowing, and you start finding creative solutions to problems that you didn't realize you could solve in that particular way. I think creativity is key as well, Pisces. I feel like you're in the midst of wanting to get a project off the ground and going full pelt with it in September. So look out for something that you may have jotted down in a notebook or put into a Word document and saved somewhere on your laptop for later. And I think when we do that and we make a record of the ideas that really sort of put a light bulb on in our minds, it's kind of like, okay, that's meaningful. That's something I should pursue later. So bear that in mind as well, Pisces. We're just going to get a bit of extra clarity here, and these cards were pre-shuffled here, and the first one I flipped over, look at that, blossoming abundance. And we talked about blossoming here in this card because on this shore where the happy family are standing, having been reminded of their progress, they have abundance blossoming around them too. And when you calm your mind and you take a beat to consider everything that's happened and everything you want to take forward and everything you want to cut away that's no longer serving you, it does allow for abundance to come into your life. Now, abundance doesn't always talk about finances. It can be an abundance of joy. It can be an abundance of someone's time, the time to enjoy things you love, an abundance of feelings as you're sort of renewing your love for life. It can be just an abundance of all the things that make you feel joyful. So I think that's really lovely in terms of where you've reviewed and evaluated everything, and you can see possibility blossoming here, and you know you're onto something, because the extension of this lush green vibe is extended into your August card here, where you're being more intuitive, more patient, and being more considerate towards people. Wow, look at this, adjacent possibilities. Look at all the doors opening for you, Pisces. Unbelievable. Now, this is a really important card, because in opening your arms to receive any blessings coming your way and opening your heart to a different you, a different possibility for your life, it's opening so many doors, even in places that you wouldn't expect. And in areas of your life that you wouldn't expect either. You might get an unexpected phone call with an opportunity, or you might accidentally stumble into somebody who's the exact right person to help you with a project, and you get emailing or texting and you're like, oh my gosh, I can really utilize this person's expertise. The possibilities are endless, Pisces, and the reason it is because you've opened your heart and your mind to the unfamiliar future. The unfamiliar future is something that you need to get more familiar with and more excited about than where you've been. Jeremiah took you through where you've been, and now you know that. You can put that to rest and now move on to the next you, the next version of yourself, where the possibilities are endless and unsurmountable. And then you gain momentum. So let's see what clarity we have for there. Look at that. Angel of Strength. What was I saying about Ariel and her lion? It's come up twice. That's confirmation there, Pisces, right there for you. In acknowledging how strong you've had to be to get through the first part of your life here, the second part of your life is going to be a really magical time. My goodness me, when we have the courage to step into the unknown, it can open a world of possibility and get things moving. And from strength, you draw new strength, renewed strength. This is Ariel. She has stayed with you on this journey, and she's making sure that you remain strong for the changes to come. Because she's not readying you for turbulence, she's readying you for miracles. She's readying you for magic. Unbelievable. Whew. Wow, wow, wow. That was deep. Okay. We're just going to get some last answers here from the angels. And as I say, always, these cards have been pre-shuffled, but I'm just going to give them one quick squiz. Look at this. Look for a sign. Wow, wow, wow. What was I saying? Was I saying to you about feathers? It might have been, it might have been Aquarius. But angel signs are going to start appearing everywhere. So look out for them, Pisces. And I feel like for you, they'll be more subliminal and surprising than the usual. So where you might expect to find a feather or a coin, I think you'll hear a song in a supermarket, or you'll be on a train and you'll look up at the title of someone's book and it just speaks directly to a little space that was empty in your heart, and it makes total sense to you. Look for the signs. They're going to start leaving you reminders that you're on the right path, that abundance is coming, the possibilities are endless, they're on their way, and then how strong you become as a result of that. Oh, trust. Look at that. Trust the journey, trust the process, trust in yourself, Pisces, and look what wonders will come of it. I love it. The situation will improve. I can already see that it is. I can see on this on this journey that it is getting better. And they want to remind you to have that patience, to trust that it's on its way. The situation is getting better, Pisces. And I feel that beyond September, it's only going to get better for you. Oh, I love that. And I feel all light and lightheaded, and I'm going to definitely ground myself after this reading and drink some water, because the energy for this reading has been really, really malleable. Is that the right word? I don't know, I'm a bit doolally after that. Unreal. Okay, so this is really good. This only points to good. You've assessed yourself, looked at the results, done the work, and now you're reaping the rewards, basically. And your angels want you to know you're supported, to have faith, to look out for the signs, to trust in yourself and the journey you're taking, and then to remind you that things will only get better as a result. One thing to mention as well is that you've got these beautiful dolphins swimming in the same direction as the angel here. And dolphins are symbolic of fun and play and good times. And they're swimming in the direction of the reading. They're, good times ahead. So take what resonates, Pisces. I just love this reading for you. And if you want to see more from the channel, do remember to subscribe. This community is growing, and your support will mean the world to everybody involved. If this reading resonated with you, hit that like button, share it around, and we'll see where the channel goes from here. There's so much more to come. So if you do want to join us again, I would love to have you back, and maybe check back in a couple of months and tell me how this is unfolding for you, because I'd love to see how you're getting on. Anyway, Pisces, I will leave it there. Love and blessings to you, and I will say bye-bye for now and see you again soon.